Our music video starts with the female protagonist lying in the grass, a high-angle shot over her face. This is similar to Goldfrapp's video for A&E. It introduces the isolation of the female protagonist and introduces the location for the performance aspect of the video.
Mum, where are you?
Similar to our video, the female protagonist from Goldfrapp also starts to lip-sync to her song. Our video also has similar themes to Eminem and Rihanna's video for I Love the Way You Lie. The artist starts off in a field on his own. This represents the isolation. This also contrasts with the abusive scenes of the couple in the house. The lighting contrast between the two aspects of the performance and narrative locations. In the fields, there's more natural light with sunlight representing a more positive time after the abuse. Inside, it's more unnatural light using lamps and unnatural lighting. This represents a darker and more negative time in their lives. We've using these abusive scenes between a couple in a negative relationship in our own video. We've also used the artist alone in a field representing her isolation, and the contrast between natural light and unnatural light to represent happiness. We've also contrasted the negative and more positive times with the urban setting for our abuse scenes. The contrast between the natural light in the positive location of the video and the negative location of the video contrasts well, as we have unnatural light and natural light opposing together, which is similar to Eminem and Rihanna's video. In Taylor Swift's video for Mine, she is seen walking around a forest representing a natural location and a more positive time in her life. She also uses the idea of flashbacks in her video to represent a narrative and a performance location. We've used similar ideas in ours. In our video, we also have the female protagonist walking through the woods. The natural setting and natural light can represent a more happy time in her life and represent her freedom after an abusive relationship. How do you feel your two ancillary tasks, your poster and your digipack, go well together and show synergy?
My digipack and my poster have both got the same photo on it, which shows synergy between the two, but it also juxtaposes to the actual video where it has lots of nature, because the picture I've used is a spotlight and you can see the ring of the spotlight. I use that so that I could kind of bring in different aspects of the artist, so she's not just like a nature artist, but she also actually obviously records, but I wanted to show that. Featuring the new hit, Dog Days Are Over, on both of them again, just to show that link between the two, so that, you know, like if you see the target audience will see the poster and then we'll see the CD and we'll link it together.
How do you think that this will attract your target audience?
Our target audience is an older female audience. Our target audience is a teenage girls. The fact that the artist is also of that age brings in that age, as in like you would want to listen to that music and see the video because you feel like you could relate to it more, and maybe they're at the same stages in life. I've also tried to attract different audiences by using the kind of spotlight in my photo, so that it's not all about nature and not all like going to attract that side, but it's also going to attract the people who I personally think would maybe listen to like Pixie Lott and stuff like that, rather than just like Florence and the Machine. So it would bring them two together.
So how effective is the combination of all three? Who wants to start?
Okay, well, all of our ancillary tasks and our film show the contrast of light and dark, which is a major theme throughout our music video, like between the contrast of urban and natural settings, the contrast of natural light and unnatural light, and the contrast of lighter sunlight and darker urban settings.
Yeah, and also the way for the opening of our video and throughout, we have her laying on the floor with her arm up, and in all of our posters and digipacks we've got the same image of her lying on the floor, if not in different places, but still kind of bringing in it kind of shows vulnerability, I think.
And it's kind of your point again, but like we've all used white font on a black background or dark background.
Yeah.
To show like the contrast again.
And when she's lying down, because that's straight in all the pictures of our poster and our digipacks, and it's the first shot of the female like protagonist in the film, so straight away you can like identify the two.
Yeah.
And like match them together. Trees.
We both incorporated like natural shots into our digipack and poster. or I superimposed a picture of some leaves over Eleanor. So we showed synergy between the main video and our products.
Yeah.
Through that.
Also, on my front cover of the Digipack, it's her in a spotlight in a studio, and on the cover of the CD, it's like natural settings, and on the back, it's her in a natural setting. So again, bring the contrast of like natural and urban.
With our track lists, we all kind of tried to fit in with the genre. What did we use? We used Ellie Goulding to look at, and
Florence and the Machine.
Florence and the Machine, and Mumford and Sons. And we kind of tried to get the same ideas and names of them. But the same with our, we've all got different ones, but our album covers, not album covers, album names.
Yeah.
We tried to like put...
And like a lot of like indie pop or alternative pop albums have like a theme throughout them to tell like a story or something.
Yeah.
And we tried to stick to the same kind of theme throughout ours.
Yeah, and also, like for some of us chose the title It's Just Me, and that represents isolation again, which is also in the video, like her alone in the fields, her alone in the woods, like her isolation.
I can't remember what it was.
If the sky was replaced.
Oh, mine was called If the Sky Was Replaced, and I chose that because it was like, it doesn't actually give away anything, which I think that is a lot of to do with the kind of genre that we have, and it doesn't actually say anything obvious or say anything kind of cheesy, but it's just kind of like, it doesn't make any sense, and then it does kind of unfold a story like you said, and throughout, and you can maybe work out what the album means and what the album title is and stuff.
Yeah, also we've all used a close-up of the artist, which is really like common of especially pop genre, like on the front of an album it would just be like the close-up of an artist.
Yeah.
So we're being like genre specific again, although it's sort of alternative pop and rock.
Yeah, we kind of challenged it because it wasn't like sexualised.
Yeah, it was just like just showing you who the artist was, but it also helped like if she was a new artist to get recognition, so they could like put a face to the video.
And that's it.
Our video, like we kept showing our family and our friends and stuff.
Yeah, we had audience feedback throughout, like when we were editing our video and our first edit of the abusive scenes. When we got our feedback back, a lot of people said that it was too like, it looked like they were just like sort of messing around, like joking around. It wasn't like serious, and it didn't really like impact the audience as much. So we refilmed the whole abusive scenes to make it look
a bit more dynamic.
Yeah, a bit more aggressive. However, then our audience feedback said that like it was really aggressive, but they couldn't tell who was.
No, there was too much of it.
Yeah. Then they said that the woman looked hard because she was like fighting back.
And because of
she
the
looked
symbolism
weak
of the red top as
Yeah.
well. So people were confused who was the abuser.
Yeah, and we cut it down a lot and just put it in the video in like short like stages, so it was just like a more like shocking impact rather than one long sequence of like abuse.
Yeah. We did questionnaires as well.
Yeah.
We did questionnaires twice. We did it first about halfway through, and that was with like that wasn't a very big group. That was about 18, maybe 20 people.
But from
And
all
from that-
ages.
But from a lot of ages, and we put up graphs as well to do the feedback, and we did some quotes. So it's like qualitative and quantitative.
And that really helped us like visualise the results when we were looking at it rather than just reading through lots of questionnaires.
And like target our ancillary tasks to the audience a bit better.
And also because like we were doing it of our classmates, and that's kind of our target audience, our age. So we know what they wanted, and like they'd say that it would be good if we had more of like her in or her like spinning around and stuff.
And at the end, we did the big questionnaire, like with the school.
Yeah.
Yeah, and towards the end we had, because we had two like age groups, we had like a few like adults said maybe introduce like the fighting a little earlier, and then but a lot of people who are like a similar age to our target audience actually said no, keep it like later because it sort of like builds up to it
all in one bit.
So we thought about it and we thought like we want to attract a target audience like that's our age, because that would be like the kind of people who would listen to our single, so we decided to keep it like later to build up to it.
Yeah. And also I think, oh no, I was like, no, that's one question. We'll cut this bit out. That's going to talk about target audience.
That is like, we are talking about target audience.
Yeah, with no audience feedback.
Yeah, audience feedback. What else did we do?
We had the audience feedback.
We did Rachel's interview.
Yeah, we had an interview at the end of our film, like once it had all been made and the final production was shown. We had like an audience feedback after that where some more questionnaires were completed, and we had a filmed interview with a couple of friends.
Yeah, who'd
Who
seen it
watched
from
it.
like the beginning.
Yeah.
They'd seen it throughout the whole development. So that was good because
Yeah.
we'd got to know how much we'd advanced, really.
Yeah.
We've got better.
Yeah. I like that we, like, you know when we had the showing and they had loads of, like, they all wrote something down about what
was
they
your
liked
favourite
about
bit?
it, yeah. And most of them were the abuse scenes.
Yeah,
And
and
I
I really
really-
liked the impact
yeah.
of that.
And I think that was probably the main part where we used the audience feedback.
Eleanor's
and all the
running
abuse.
was the most.
And Eleanor's running as well. Everyone liked
Yeah,
that.
which was a big shot that, like, because we didn't really, like, when we filmed it,
We didn't realise it was any good.
yeah, I
really.
don't think we realised, like, how much, like, how popular that shot would be until we, like,
Yeah.
showed, like, a group of people and they, like, everyone we showed really liked it. With us, and were watching, like, all the filming, and they were, like, putting their input in
Yeah.
and saying what they thought, like, as we were doing the shots. So we got to change shots and sort of, like, incorporate a few of their ideas. So it wasn't just our ideas and what people thought. It was, like their own ideas, and they were all our age. So it was, like, actual ideas from people of a similar age group.
So we could change the filming there and then rather than having to go back.
And we had boys and girls, and they had different ideas, but they also, like, agreed on a lot of things, which would attract an even, like, wider range of audience.